Today's going to be a chatty one. I have a lot on my mind. I have been watching this whole thing unfold with Colleen Behringer, her aka Miranda Sings, and Adam McIntyre. I mean, everyone's talking about it on pretty much every social media platform. And I watched Trisha Paytas' video that came out when I'm filming this. It was like a couple days ago it came out, and I was just blown away. I mean, I have so many thoughts, and I figured, you know, who better to go ahead and share my thoughts with than you guys. And I know I don't normally do commentary. I do story times. It's kind of like that. It's pretty much like my take on the whole thing, but we're going to go ahead and do like a little rundown and talk about it and get our feelings out there, because there's a lot here, and I think that it's something that should be talked about. We're going to get into it, but before I do, if you haven't already, you know the drill. Like, subscribe, come hang out on my channel. It'd be really great to have you here. And with that being said, let's get into today's video. Okay guys, well, today is a serious one, and I'm probably gonna put in clips and stuff like that so you're not just staring at my face the entire time. We're gonna go ahead and do a quick rewind. Now, I have been thinking out loud on what I wanted to talk about today, you know, sitting here with you guys. I'm not scripted. I think I may have wrote a couple of things down so I don't get totally off track, but I suppose if I do, it's just natural me, and we all know that about me, and I probably will get off track. Probably am currently getting off track now, but we're going to hit rewind and go back to where this all started. And I know most of us know the story, but for those of us who don't, I want to give a quick excerpt from what's going on here so that we're not just like, why is she talking about that? You know, what's going on? Why isn't she doing makeup? That kind of thing. Just so we're all up to speed. So let's hit the rewind button, shall we? Back in 2020, Adam McIntyre came forward and talked about Colleen Behringer and the experiences that he'd had when he was working for her. He'd gotten to know her when he was 14 years old, and he'd gone to her shows, was just a huge fan. There's photos of them, and they had rapport. She would message a lot of her fans and talk to them, and she's already come forward and done an apology video on this topic a couple of years ago. She had said and done some inappropriate things and sent some inappropriate messages and things like that, and also would delve into like personal stuff about her marriage, talking with young kids, underage kids, basically was what was going on there. And she had employed, well, she didn't pay him, but she had Adam posting things for her on a social media account that she'd given him access to. And I don't know that I'm gonna get all the details right. I mean, I'm not like really the full-on journalist here. These are the things that I'm recalling from all the different commentary channels that I've been watching talk about this. And she never paid him, but she did employ him, and he had done a post that she didn't particularly like, and it casted her in a bad light, and she pretty much cut him off. And when he came forward to talk about, you know, what he'd been going through, she basically weaponized her young audience and some older individuals too against him, and they would threaten him and his family and his pets, and he was basically silenced. People just didn't, you know, believe that he was telling the truth until more people came forward. This is what I get from the story. People didn't really like, you know, stand with him. He was basically kind of alone trying to fight against this person that had made a huge success of herself. She had a show on Netflix called Haters Back Off. She was doing YouTube. She's a mom. She has done like family vlogs on YouTube. She did riding in cars with comedians, something like that. It was Jerry Seinfeld's show because his daughter happened to be a big fan. She does live tours where she brings kids up on stage and makes them a part of her show, where some inappropriate things also took place. But she had a huge fan base. Maybe not so much now, but certainly then. And they didn't do anything positive for Adam in any way, shape, or form. The poor kid was just completely stifled, but he kept talking until finally more people came forward. There was a TikToker who had come forward, and she talked about her experience when she'd gone to one of Miranda's shows when she was 16 years old, and she was called up on stage for something called the Yoga Challenge, where she was put in a very compromising position and made to feel very exposed, and afterwards felt incredibly uncomfortable going back to her car. People were looking at her in a different way, and several people began to come forward and they were talking about this. And all the while, you had Trisha Paytas and Colleen talking about their podcast, and Trisha was super excited about it. You could tell she was just giddy. I think it seemed to me she was just giddy to have like a mom friend, and they're going to go ahead and do cosplay together, and they're going to chat, and they're going to call it oversharing, and they did a couple of, you know, episodes, but you could tell that Colleen was like, maybe we'll do more, you know, we'll see. But they also go back, you know, they have history. This story is starting to gain traction. So I'm going to condense this a little bit, or else we're going to be here all day and you guys already know what's going on. So I guess after that, when more and more people were hopping on board, Colleen decides to come forward with an apology video. She's basically turned herself into a meme at this point. She breaks out a ukulele and starts singing this apology, which really isn't an apology, basically blaming the parents for bringing kids to her shows, saying that it says on her website that it is PG-13. Shows a skit of a young boy who's sitting next to her on this simulated date when she's Miranda Sings, reaching into her pants for cheese puffs or something like that. It's part of her bit. The kid's like 7. I mean, these things are just, I don't know why the adults that were there at the time went along with it. I guess they thought it was all part of the show. I have no clue why things like this were transpiring and it was being allowed, because if it were me, and I don't have kids, but if I were in that place and I saw my kid, let's just say hypothetically, on stage and that was taking place, I wouldn't care if I embarrassed. I would say, listen, you're going to thank me later. We're going to get out of here. I wouldn't allow it. I'd say, listen, I want my daughter off stage, or my son. I don't want him reaching in your pants. This is just weird, and I'm not for this. I don't think this is entertaining, and we're going to go ahead and go. And, you know, you may be mad at me now, kid, but you'll forgive me later, and we'll have a nice talk about it, and we'll hug, and we'll be good. But I think me personally, not to make the parents or whatever feel bad, but my God, I just don't think I would have allowed it. I'm completely shocked that it even went on that long. So among the many other terrible things, the sing-song apology, Adam comes back with his own sing-song apology. I think, you know, after the meme thing happened, my favorite one was the one that that 16 Leo posted.
People make a mistake and it doesn't make them a horrible person. Whoa. Sometimes people can make a mistake and they're still a good person. Crazy, I know.
He just really hit the nail on the head. That guy is so freaking funny. It's no wonder he's so successful. But yeah, he put a spin on it, and there were several other people that were talking about it. There was another thing that came out that Ethan Klein had posted on TikTok.
You killed a dog?
I grabbed the dog and pinched its skin and dug my nails into it. The dog yells, turns around, protects itself, and bites me in the face. And I got stitches, I went to the hospital, and they were like, what happened? And I was like, the dog just bit me. And then they had to put the dog to sleep.
Why the f would you even say that with like silly music over the top?
In the way that she posted it, she was smiling and laughing and playing funny music in the background.
I hated her. Flames on the side of my face.
And if that doesn't show you a person that needs some serious therapy, I don't know what does. I mean, really, when I saw, I can't even form words. The stuff with the kids and the dog, and she's still out there performing in her show. How is this even going on? And how are people not standing next to Adam and, you know, supporting him in this? And, you know, like I said, finally more people were coming forward, and she does this angry ukulele song that has been stuck in my freaking cranium for like, I don't even know how long. It's just been like a replay song over and over in my head. So you can tell when you're watching the video that she has no remorse whatsoever. And to the young lady who had been on stage and in that position where she felt, you know, displayed in a way that was improper, she said that it was just a fart joke, and that why is everyone so mad at me for doing a fart joke? It had nothing to do with that at all. It's like she just completely just over the head, no idea, just thinks that everything's just hunky-dory and doesn't understand why everyone's so upset. Well, she has been thoroughly and utterly and completely canceled since then. I haven't seen another video from her, but like I said a couple days ago, Trisha Paytas came on and posted a video of her own talking about how she felt about what had gone on. So when I saw that video had posted, I clicked on it almost immediately, and it had already had quite a few views. It'd been up for like 18 hours or something like that. It happened in the night. I'd fallen asleep, and I mean, I'm not on YouTube all the time watching, but I do watch quite a bit. I have friends here that I support and all that stuff, and I watch a lot of videos, but it breezed by me. In the morning I found it, and I immediately clicked on, and I guess my expectations, because we know Trisha, she's notorious for trolling, and she even has admitted that she's like that. I loved watching her on Frenemies. That show was freaking epic, and I thought that she and Ethan had really great rapport. They played off one another just so wonderfully. It's a great show. I'm still sad that it's gone. She's known for offending large groups of people, and she's just done some shady stuff over the years. So I didn't really know what to expect when it first started. And one of the things that Adam had talked about when he was first watching the video, I kind of felt too. So she'd started out the video talking about how she didn't really want to cancel her friend, even though she had known. She wanted to continue to hang out with her and do the thing and do the podcast and all that stuff, because she could sympathize with what it was like to be canceled. And that was something where I was kind of like, I don't know if I really agree with that. Not exactly the best reason to continue to hang out with someone who's allegedly hurting kids, or not even, or just allegedly hurting kids. One of the main things that Adam had critiqued her on was that she didn't really step into it with everybody and side with everyone against her until it became about her. When Trisha got some information that Colleen used to, back in the day, go on her OnlyFans and download photos and things from Trisha's OnlyFans. She's done that for a very long time. That's what she does she makes, I guess, a good living doing it. I don't know, but that's her deal. But it's a paywall. It's not meant for anyone who is under 18. So Colleen, at 30 plus some odd years old, is downloading these photos and sending them to minors.
This is really wrong. This is really gross. And it's also unsolicited nudes. No one was asking for this. I don't know the inside joke. She said they're taken out of context.
And when Trisha confronted her, she said, it's all BS, it's all, people are lying, it's not real, I wouldn't do that, we're friends, we're buds, basically is how she's trying to spin it. And Trisha received some actual DMs back and forth from a reputable source that had shown her, hey, this was real, she was really doing that. Not only was she doing that, sending it to minors, she would have parties where they would put up her OnlyFans and they would sit around and they would all make fun of her, and they did actually even film it, and I think that she saw that as well. And you could tell in the video when she's talking about it how my heart was actually breaking for her. That was the thing that kind of shocked me, because I didn't see that coming. But I'm watching this girl and I just felt, regardless of, I know that she waited and should have come forward a lot sooner, and it shouldn't have been until it was just something about her that made her, say something. I felt and still feel so much compassion for Trisha, and my heart just really hurt for her. And you can tell in the video, and I don't know, motherhood, whatever it is, but she really has stayed out of the drama. You don't really even hear much from Trisha anymore. She's just raising her daughter, living her life. She was excited about the podcast. Like I said, I think she was excited to have a mom friend, and they could do the dress up thing. And there's literally on one of the podcasts where Colleen is saying, you shouldn't make fun of people's bodies, this, that, and the other. And it's like, boy, that didn't age well, because now she's really seeing that this so-called friend, where they've spent time together and been with each other's families and kids getting to know each other and all that stuff, where this so-called friend has literally used Trisha's OnlyFans, her body, as something to make fun of, and how freaking terrible. So she had also apologized to those who were affected, who had gotten these photos that shouldn't have gotten them at the time, which Adam had also said, and I got to give him credit, she didn't really have to apologize to him. It wasn't her fault. She wasn't sending those pictures out to anyone, but you could just tell that she was just completely crushed by the whole thing. And since then, she has unfollowed Colleen from all of social media. She's taken down everything from the podcast, I believe. Colleen still follows her, which is weird, but I think she's just freaking weird. She's more than weird. She's diabolical. There's something wrong with this woman. I mean, really, it's a sickness is what I feel like. Truly, I really do. And she's disavowed.
But I don't stand by her. I'm embarrassed to be associated with her.
and said, I'm not gonna, I'm not gonna have anything to do with her any longer. I'm just gonna go ahead and live my life, and I'm not gonna say any more on the subject. So I don't know that she's gonna come forward, how she would do with video after video when she was mad at someone, to go ahead and continue to, rant on them. I think that this was very, very much it. She just wanted to say this the one time and just be done with it. But I do have to give her credit. Like I said, she just stayed so very calm the entire time and just, spoke in a very sincere and very grown way. So, I just want to give Trisha props on doing that, because it must be incredibly difficult to know that this person that you thought was your friend was literally showing I can't even imagine. And the whole thing is just so completely messed up. And I don't know, after all of this, that there is even a career left for Colleen, and I don't think there should be. I don't think that she should be allowed around children. I'm not any kind of authority. I don't know, but me personally, these are my feelings. I don't think that she should be allowed to continue on. I think that the show should be completely shut down. I think that, her being canceled, she should just stay canceled. I don't think anyone needs to hear anything more from her, and I would hope that she goes and gets some help, because it seems like she really needs it. That was my little excerpt on it. I just wanted to sit down and vent to you guys, because I'm just kind of like, I'm so floored, and I just don't know what to do with all the thoughts, and who better to share it with than you. So let me know what you think, and that's going to do it for me today, kids. Thank you so much for sticking around and watching. As always, I really do appreciate it, and I will catch you all in the next one. Bye!